I'm going to stay on this quickly. How do I address this? Let me first start with what the news is. So the news is Kyrie Irving has been suspended for a minimum of 5 games for his anti-Semitic tweets or whatever. Oh, no. He promoted anti-Semitic documentary. He also promoted some stuff about Alec Jones. It took him forever to apologize, but once the suspension came down, he had a lengthy apology on his social media, even though there's interview upon interview upon interview where all he had to say was, "I'm sorry," but he didn't. But I will say he did come out and apologize on Instagram. They say, it's been said on this podcast, it's been said time and time again, people are going to tolerate a lot when you're talented. Kyrie Irving will go down in history as one of, if not the greatest, handler of the ball in NBA history. Kyrie will go down as one of the greatest layup makers in NBA history. Kyrie Irving is one of the best point guards in the league. Kyrie Irving is also the person that blew up a championship team in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving is also a person that blew up a championship team in the Boston Celtics. Kyrie Irving is also a person that has had multiple off the field incidents, and I'm not saying terrible, but he's done things and he said things that have left a few puzzled faces, to say the least. Kyrie Irving has showed you who he is. Now, I'm not saying that he's a terrible person. I'm not saying that, Kyrie Irving should be treated the same way as a lot of people aren't treated that do heinous things to women or do heinous things to other people. Kyrie Irving has a way of viewing the world, and that's okay. Everyone is different, But Kyrie has shown you who he is. At this point, you're the problem if you are shocked by anything that Kyrie does. And the problem with this, it's not a problem, but you can tell the Brooklyn, and I said this before. I think I said this in the offseason, man. Brooklyn made a mistake about giving the franchise to 2 players in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant that have shown that they cannot handle power. Kyrie Irving has burnt bridges on every single team he's been on. Now to a point where you can tell the Brooklyn Nets do not want him on the team. They just can't. They can release him. But you don't want to release him because Kyrie Irving is still talented, and they know that there's going to be a team that's going to take a flyer on him because of how talented he is. Why do you think that there's still people, including myself, that thinks that Antonio Brown still has a chance in this league? Antonio Brown will go down as one of the, talent-wise, one of the greatest wide receivers ever. Think about that. Think about everything Antonio Brown has done off the field. He still had a shot with the Raiders. He still had a shot with the Bucks. He still had a shot with the Patriots. Yo, that man was Instagram living after a Pittsburgh Steelers game. Still has shot. Why? Because he is talented. I'm not saying that Kyrie Irving should be out the league. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is people are wondering why do we care so much what Kyrie does, or why does Kyrie have this big of a platform? Because he's talented. And in the world of sports, I don't know, memo to people that still haven't got it. Talent, all people care about is talent. If that's the case, there'll be a lot of people out the league. We wouldn't even care or know what the hell Antonio Brown's doing. Hell, remember Greg Hardy? Beat the absolute dog-ish out of his girl. Got another shot with the Cowboys. And now I think he's well, I don't think he's winning that much, but he's in the UFC because he's a talented freak of nature. And you also know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing what Kyrie Irving did and what Greg Hardy did, what Antonio Brown did off the field. I'm not comparing that. I'm not going to disrespect Kyrie in saying that. All Kyrie Irving is doing is spreading his opinions about things. But Kyrie has shown you that he is a headache. That's why I was so shocked. I mean, I wasn't shocked that he left, but I was so shocked that Kevin Durant chose Kyrie Irving. I get friends are friends, right? But you chose Kyrie Irving in the track, right? Yo, he didn't work with LeBron James. Do you know anybody that's never worked with LeBron James? I know LeBron James don't want to play with some people, i.e. he ain't got time for, or he didn't have time for Andrew Wiggins. But do you know any teammate that hasn't flourished with LeBron James? Wait a second. Even Kyrie flourished with LeBron James. Kyrie had his best seasons alongside LeBron James and still soiled that. He had a young Jason Tatum, a young Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and soiled that Boston relationship. Yo, you remember in Boston, I don't know if people, in Boston when you knew it was over and you knew Kyrie was checked out, bro. When they were in the playoff series against the Bucks and Kyrie Irving made it a point to guard Giannis. I don't know if y'all know about height or size, but Giannis is drastically taller than Kyrie and drastically bigger, than Kyrie. All I'm saying is this, man. I don't agree with hate speech at all. I mean, I also know that people's lives, if it doesn't matter to me, if it doesn't pertain to me, I shouldn't have an opinion, nor does it matter to me. And I also understand that Kyrie, just like Kanye, has just been giving their opinion about things. Well, I think that they're learning drastically is just because once you give your opinion out to the world, you have to accept those consequences that come with that opinion. Not saying your opinion is right or wrong, but you have to accept whatever comes with those opinions. And now this is yet another organization, yet another team that is done with Kyrie. Hell, you see reports when Woj says it and when Nick Friedel says it, who pretty much lives at the Brooklyn Nets facility, you know it should be true. And when they both say that the Nets are pretty much done with Kyrie Irving and want to get off of Kyrie Irving, and it shouldn't have took them to say that. They were trying to trade him this offseason. They just couldn't because they didn't have any suitors, which is the only reason why Kyrie signed the extension. Be careful who you tie be careful who you have relationships with. Be careful who you give power to. And be careful who you align yourself with. And also, sometimes talent can be a blinder. People will show you who they really are. And it's up to you to believe them or not. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.